Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Spotlight on Education. I'm your host, Tina Duckett, Director of Public Relations for the Troup County School System. Here, you will learn about Troup County School System news, such as our programs, activities, and our school accomplishments. Today, joining me in the studio is Bryant, Principal of Hogansville Elementary School. Welcome, Brett.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. I know our viewers just cannot wait to learn all about the activities taking place at Hogansville. But before we get into that, I know you've been in education for quite some time, so would you please share a little bit about your history and education and your professional career?
Sure. I've been in education for 20 years now. I started off as a teacher at Long County Elementary. I taught 3rd and 5th grade for 7 years there. And then I went to Harris County as the assistant principal at Park Elementary for 2 years before returning to Troup County at Mountville Elementary as the instructional specialist. I was there for 2 years, and I've been at Hogansville Elementary for the past 9 years as the principal.
Okay. Now, how large of a school is Hogansville? Meaning, how many staff do you have?
We have 61 staff. We have 36 certified teachers there at Hogansville Elementary, and we have a population today of 429 students.
Wow, that's a lot of students. Little people from pre-K?
Pre-K through 5th grade.
5th grade, okay. Very good. Have you noticed whether or not your population, is it increasing as the years go by? Are you gaining more students?
It has increased a little bit over the last few years. My first few years there at Hogansville, we had not quite 400 students, 390 to 400. At one point this year, we hit 441 students, and recently we're sitting at 429. So we are getting a little bigger.
Okay, and your school holds a rich history, and I was really excited to learn about the mascot, which is the Green Wave. Is that correct?
It is the
Okay.
Green Wave.
Well, tell our viewers more about the Green Wave.
Well, Hogansville Elementary is what I call a hidden gem
Okay.
in the school system. We are a rich school. We do have a lot of history. We are actually housed in what used to be Hogansville High School. As the high school, their mascot was the Green Wave. And then as Hogansville consolidated with the Troup County School System, that campus became an elementary school and changed its mascot to the Superstars. In 2005, after a lot of stakeholder feedback and finding a Green Wave crest that a student had drawn similar to a family crest, we started thinking about, is now the time to possibly change the mascot from the Superstars back to the Green Wave. And so we sought out a lot of stakeholder feedback. We surveyed parents, talked to board members, talked to staff, asked students, and the overwhelming answer was, let's change it back to the Green Wave. So we are trying to remember that heritage that or that the city enjoyed a long time ago as the high school. So we're proud to be the Green Wave.
Yes, and I know you are very proud of your school, just as the leader and the one to whom children and your staff look. Would you share some of the accomplishments which make you proud to lead Hogansville Elementary?
Well, it's been a privilege to be there for the last 9 years, and we have accomplished a lot. And the first thing I need to say is that without the staff, none of this would be possible. We have a top-notch teaching staff and support staff as well. Hogansville really is our home, and we treat it that way. We treat our students as our students. We really care for them. In the last several years, we have been named a Title I Distinguished School. We enjoyed that designation for 7 years. That was based on the state of Georgia's system of measuring school accountability. As you know, all the elementary schools in Troup County are Title I.
Yes.
And we received that distinction by meeting certain academic benchmarks, and so we're very proud. So we have enjoyed that for 7 years. Last year, the state changed its measure for how they keep schools accountable in meeting certain academic marks, and no longer is there a distinguished school status. Now the status is high progress school and highest performing school.
Okay.
And so we were proud to be one of 5 schools in Troup County to be named a high progress school for making significant student achievement gain over a 3-year period of time. So we're we're very proud of that.
And that's wonderful. Now, I know with becoming a Title I school and high progress school, there are other academic honors and recognitions your school has received as related to subgroups and closing achievement gaps. Would you share information about that?
Well, as part of the Title I Distinguished piece and the High Progress piece, you're right, we do look at subgroups a lot. We look at every category that we can in terms of student achievement. And since 2005, when we began the Georgia Performance Standards, our subgroups have gained anywhere from 22 to 32% in academic achievement.
Wow.
Over that time period from 2005 through last year. And so when you have that kind of growth in student achievement, the achievement gaps between the subgroups close. And between a couple of subgroups last year, we had that achievement gap less than 1%. So there are a lot of things happening behind the scenes at school to make those happen.
Well, more to that, elaborate more on what you can account as, again, the principal and with your team. What factors go into making that type of gain?
Well, a few years ago, it started really in about 2004. We had received our adequate yearly progress report, and as a staff we were looking at data and looking at scores. And at that time in the state, accountability was really becoming a really big issue. And one of our subgroups on its own did not meet the academic bar. And so thankfully the state had some safety nets in place, and one of those safety nets caught that subgroup that did not make adequate yearly progress, and that safety net really allowed us to make adequate yearly progress as a school. And from that meeting that day, meeting with the staff, we really began looking at students and subgroups in a different light. We really began looking at our interventions. You know, what is it that we are doing? What are the specific learning needs of students? Do we have those resources available? Do we have the people resources available as well to meet the needs? And so over time, we've become more laser focused in meeting the needs of individual students. And because of that, our academic progress and achievement is increasing.
Now, I know just in hearing you, it seems that planning is key, and working with different members of your team as well as gaining community input in establishing your goals. I guess that would be true. If you have a laser focus, then that information would help develop and create goals for your system, for your school. So please share, what are some of your goals in your effort to continue and advance improvement?
Well, one of our goals is to continue the process that we have in place, and we use a process that we call Plan, Do, Check, Act. And it is a school improvement process that is year-round. It never stops. We're always planning, we're always doing, we're always checking our progress and acting on new information. And so basically in the summertime we look at the data, we look at CRCT test scores that the students have taken in the spring, and all of our parents are familiar with that test in the spring. And as a staff we look at that, and we look at how our subgroups did, how did our students do, and then we look at what the state's goals are as well, knowing that we need to meet those goals. And so we begin to put interventions in place, and we monitor those interventions throughout the year. And again, the process is continual in nature. So that's our process.
Okay, and talk to me about the Greenway concept, recognizing positive behavior and expectations, which are also goals of the school that feed into this success.
Well, when Hogansville had the high school and its mascot was the Greenway, one thing that I noticed very quickly from talking to community members and teachers at my school now who graduated from the high school, I got a quick sense that sports was a big play. They were very proud of their sports teams and their academics, and so I wanted to bring some of the tradition of the Greenway back into the school, but since we're in elementary school and don't have sports teams, we frame that concept of that Greenway tradition around our academics.
Okay.
And so if you walk into our school today, you'll see banners hanging in our lunchroom that show our Title I Distinguished School status. Those are like our pennants.
Okay,
in terms of an athletic or an academic sense. But we began looking at the Green Wave, and we have taken the last 4 letters in the word Green Wave and developed an acronym that stands for work ethic, attitude, vision, and excellence.
Okay.
So when you come into the school, the first thing you'll see is a banner that says, "Have you caught the wave?" And we're really stressing to the students those 4 character qualities of work ethic. Work hard, don't give up, stick with it, complete the goal. Have a great attitude about what you're doing, because regardless of what is going on around you, that's the one thing that you have control over, is your attitude. And then vision, we really stress to the students about having a vision. What is the goal? What do you want to achieve? And then excellence, we want them to do it in an excellent manner. Whatever you do it with all that you have. And so we've been stressing that for several years now, and it really has become a homegrown character education program, if you will.
And how are business partners, do they support this Green Wave concept? And if they do, can you tell us how?
They do. We have several business partners. Rogers Barbecue in Hogansville, operated by Randy and Tony Striblin. They are awesome partners of ours. They each year, or each month, they recognize our Green Wave Students of the Month at Rogers and feed them lunch every month. That's about 21 students, or 22 a month, that do that. They pay for it, Rogers does, and so they support that. And Randy is very complimentary of the students and recognizes that they have met certain requirements to be the Green Wave Student of the Month.
And elaborate on that. What does it take to become the Green Wave Student of the Month?
Well, teachers are, they're always looking, and so we're really trying to find that student who exhibits quality work ethic, the student who has a great attitude, the student who sets his or her vision, they do their work well. We also look for students who display the characteristics of a Green Wave. Several years ago, we found the old Green Wave High School crest, Imagine a Family crest. And 3 words were on that crest: honesty, truth, and loyalty. And so that has become our crest now. So in addition to the catch the wave characteristics, we're looking for those kids who are honest, truthful, and loyal. And so those are the students that we recognize. At the end of the year, we asked the teachers to recognize one 5th grade student that exhibits those traits the best, and we named that student the Green Wave Student of the Year.
Wow.
And they're actually recognized on a plaque beside our Teacher of the Year.
Oh,
and so it's a special recognition to be placed beside the Teacher of the Year. So those are the qualities we're looking for. But our partners do: Kimberly-Clark, Chick-fil-A, on Lafayette Parkway, the Pilot Club in Hogansville, Community Bank and Trust, have all supported us and continue to support us. The Boys and Girls Clubs of West Georgia support us. We're the only elementary school in the system that has a Boys and Girls Club unit on site.
Oh,
and
good.
so they support our Catch the Wave, as well as we support what they're teaching students as well.
And I know that Ingalls also supports through your Box Tops for Education.
They do. We've had good success with that. Gary Jones, one of our teachers there on staff, heads up our Box Tops initiative, and Ingalls is partnering with us. And so to any of our viewers out there in Hogansville, please feel free to take your Box Tops to Ingalls. We'll support our school.
Good, good. Now there's a Green Wave party. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So,
and I'm sure the children look forward to that. So tell us about the Green Wave party.
Well, each semester we do bring in bouncy houses. I think every child loves the big bouncy houses and the bouncy slides and things like that. So at the end of each semester, we do bring in 3 of those, set them up in the gym, and we just reserve just a special time to honor all of our Green Wave Students of the Month for that semester, and give them about an hour to go in and play and just have a good time. So it's just our way of saying thank you.
Okay, and I know you talked about various partners who come together to help the school reach some of its goals, whether it's just through volunteerism, contributions, just offering valuable input even, or just being there as a support for the school. But when I think about our schools and the resources that we have, I wonder, what would a principal say if there were limitless resources? What would you envision for your school if there were limited resources?
I think two things. One, to have the human capital, the human resource there to reach all the needs of the students, the academic, the social, the physical, the mental. If we had adequate human resources that could go in and do that, would be great. And then secondly would be to have a technologically rich environment for our students as we prepare them for their future time in the workforce.
Yes.
So those would be two things that I would love to see in our school.
And of course, always continuation of academic improvement and performance,
exactly.
Certainly. Now, I know that the schools, and I was surprised to learn this, and in interviewing principals, in particular elementary school principals, that there are several extracurricular activities on campus. Would you share what Hogansville offers our students?
Okay. Basically, for our students who are 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, we have several clubs for them. Some operate during the day, some are after school. For instance, we have a broadcast team. They're responsible under Ms. Hendricks, our media specialist, for conducting a morning broadcast each day, so we have those students. We also have an art club for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students. We have a garden club that is sponsored by Monica Lane, one of our PTO board members, and so we've gotten 4th and 5th grade students involved in our garden club to spruce up the area around the school. Also have an academic bowl team. Wendy Tomlinson and Vicki Stanley lead those 4th and 5th graders. And then we also have a student crime watch, or a student safety patrol, if you will. And that works in conjunction with our student council, and Ms. Carmen Doherty, our school counselor, works with those students, and we give them various duties, such as morning and afternoon duties, to help out around the school. So there are several ways that the students can become involved at the school.
Okay, and not only engaging students, we know that's vitally important to their overall development. I know that Hogansville Elementary values parental involvement as well, and I know that you have a healthy PTO organization, but tell us why parental involvement is important to you and your staff.
Everything comes down to the home. It comes down to parents. We have children for 6 to 8 hours a day, let's say, maybe a little bit more if they're in our Boys and Girls Club unit there at the school. But at the end of the day, they're with mom and dad. They're at home, and so we count on the parents to work with us just as we want to work with them in partnering to help their child be successful. This year we've had great parent involvement. We've had good parent involvement in the past. This year it seems to be better. We've seen a lot of parents in our school. Ms. Carmen Doherty, our school counselor, and Ms. Gail Woodward, our Title I family liaison, host a Family Fun Friday workshop for parents once a month. And each of those workshops is grade level specific, focused on an academic standard usually, that culminates with a demonstration of one of our Promethean boards in one of our classrooms, and then a tour of the school.
Good.
And so they have really worked hard at developing activities for parents to show our parents what their children are doing in the classroom, and then to give them some tips on how to help their children be even more successful. At the end of those sessions, they also offer or ask the parents for feedback on our parental involvement policy. They also give them an opportunity to provide feedback on the workshop itself. And so between a core group of parents and Ms. Doherty and Ms. Woodward, they then tweak the next workshop and get ready for the next month. So that's been very successful.
And are these monthly? Did you
They're
say
monthly. They're once a month. We invite parents in every Friday for a Family Fun Friday.
Okay.
But once a month we have a specific activity for them. We also have a family movie night that we do each fall, and goodies for grandparents and donuts for dad, muffins for mom. A lot of the same types of things that our other elementary schools are doing.
Okay, now I know that, again, we talked about some of your partners and what they contribute, but tell me more specifically how the partners support goals of the schools. Like, what do they donate, or what items can they provide if there are businesses out there who wish to connect with a school? Talk about that partnership a little bit more.
Well, during this time where everybody is dealing with some budget crunch or crisis or downturn, we try not to ask for a lot of money. We do have some partners that help us out that way. Chick-fil-A helps us out with some spirit nights throughout the year.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
grateful.
We're familiar with those spirit nights.
We're familiar with that
Yeah.
for Rob Bowman at Chick-fil-A, and so we appreciate that. Again, Rogers helps us out by just recognizing our students. Kimberly Clark will often ask, what can we donate to the school? And they'll donate either student incentives or staff incentives or door prizes from various workshops or maybe PTO events that we may have. So we are fortunate to have that. Our PTO is a huge partner of ours. We meet monthly as a board and discuss the goals of the school, and they structure their fundraisers around, what are the needs of the school, what are the needs of the staff, and so really depending on what we need, they structure the fundraiser accordingly. So,
and why do you think these businesses engage in the school?
Well, we need them, and they need us because we have their future workforce.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so we want them to see what we're doing. We want our students to see what our partners are doing. Our partners want to invest in what we're doing. In some cases, their children and grandchildren go to our school, or if not our school, other elementary schools in Troup County. And so it's really for the betterment of our community
as a whole. I certainly agree, and I know that our time is coming to a quick end here. I've enjoyed having you on, but before we go, would you please share any upcoming activities or events where our community can become involved?
Well, right now we're entering into the winter season, so we're a little slow in terms of activities at the school, but once spring starts again and we have field day and some other grade level programs, that will be the time, and we'll have information on our website about that. In the meantime, they can visit our school website and find information about upcoming Family Fun Friday events with our counselor and family.
Now those will happen in January.
Those will begin again in January.
Okay.
So they can visit our school website and see a list of activities that are coming up.
Would you please share with our viewers your website information and contact information? Sure.
The website is hes.troup.k12.ga.us, or you can go to troup.org and search under schools, and they can locate our school website there.
Well, thank you again
for
joining me today, and thank you for watching Spotlight on Education to the City of LaGrange and LGTV. Thank you for your partnership in making this program possible. Until next time, enjoy your day.